If you're like me, who's 5'6", 27-inch inseam, it can be really intimidating to ride a tall, full-size dirt bike. And since I have short legs, this makes it really hard to touch the ground. And if you're just starting out, this can really mess up your confidence or make it harder to have confidence when trail riding. When you have short legs or you're under 5'6" tall, it makes it hard to touch the ground when you're just starting out. And this can be really intimidating and harder to build your confidence because you're focused on trying not to fall rather than trying to learn how to use the controls, how to use the clutch and throttle and shifting, all the proper techniques. And when you're just worried about, oh, what's going to happen when I start moving or when I come to a stop? I might fall over because I don't know if I'll be able to touch the ground. Or maybe you're just trying to get on the bike and it's hard to swing your leg over the seat, especially if the ground is uneven. Maybe you're on the side of a hill and you can't safely get on the bike. You don't want to tip over and fall down the hill, which will make you look like a noob, or if the bike falls on you, that can be really painful. I totally get it. Full-size bikes were definitely intimidating to me, and they still kind of are in technical terrain, which is why I usually ride a bike that has a lower seat height than the typical enduro bike. And if this sounds like you, then this is a sign that you have either formed or you're starting to form a bad habit. And what is this bad habit? Well, it's thinking that you need to use one or both of your feet on the ground while riding, especially at lower speeds to prevent falling. And I totally get it. I hate falling, I hate crashing, I don't like getting hurt, it makes me look dumb. But when you're only focused on trying to prevent crashing, guess what's going to happen? You're going to fall over more often. So maybe you've gotten used to falling over in tight turns. It's easy to lose balance and tip over. Maybe you're riding through rocks or soft sand and you feel the need to put down both of your feet to try and paddle or just to stay balanced so that you don't tip over. Well, this is a really bad habit. Why? Well, you lose control when you don't have both of your feet on the foot pegs. Think about it. If you tried riding a bicycle down a bumpy road with your feet hanging off the pedals so they're almost touching the ground, what's going to happen? Well, you're going to get bucked around and use a lot more energy because the only thing controlling the bike is your hands. And when you're using your hands and arms to handle the bike and your weight, that's way more force than your hands can handle, because when you have your feet on the pegs, this allows you to have more control of the bike because it's the first thing touching the bike, and it allows you to feel what the bike is doing under you. So if the bike starts to kick sideways or if it starts to break traction or wheelie on you, your feet are going to be the first thing that feels what the bike is doing, and then you can react with the rest of your body and shift your body position on the bike. And this is so much easier when you're standing on the pegs or sitting with your feet on the pegs rather than dragging them or hanging them off the pegs to try and stay balanced. So what do you do instead? Well, you must form positive riding habits so that you can control the bike without using as much energy. Now, this is just one common bad habit that increases your risk of crashing or just getting exhausted a lot quickly while trail riding, which is why it's so important to form positive riding habits now when you're just getting started, or to break bad habits if you've been riding for at least a few years. So if you want to break bad habits, or if you want to start out by forming positive habits so that you ride safer and use less energy on the trails, watch this video right here.